free.
Stolen Heaven, Secret Hell, Episode 20, The Grace That Brought Me Home. You burn, you breathe, you don't own me. That hungry fire falls to peace. When shame returns, I stand unbowed. Your voice cuts through the fear and crowd. I take, I break, yet still you mend. You guard my soul until the end. Scars remain, but they've been shown to mark the grace that brought me home. I'm not alone, I'm walking free. We have been here before. This chorus has come around 3 times now, and each time it has arrived with more honesty, more declaration, more of the full weight of what has been walked through and what has been given, and what has been learned and what will never be taken away. This time it arrives with everything. The fire still burns and breathes. The declaration that it does not own still stands. The hungry fire has fallen to peace. And now, 3 new lines that have not been spoken yet in this song. 3 things that the journey has finally made it possible to say. When shame returns, I stand unbowed. Notice that word, returns. Not returned once and was dealt with. Returns, present tense, ongoing. The shame that was given to the light in pre-chorus 2. The shame that was answered by love replying, "We start again," in the bridge. The shame that whispers, "Where you have been," even in the middle of the new normal. It returns. This is not a failure of the healing. This is the honest reality of living in a fallen body, in a fallen world, with a memory that does not always cooperate with the truth of who you are in Christ. And here is something important about shame that we need to name clearly. Shame is not always the enemy, not in its initial form. Shame, like pain, is a signal. When we burn ourselves, we feel pain and we pull back. The pain is telling us something true. Something is wrong here. This is causing damage. Pay attention. Shame operates the same way in its healthy form. The hurt that comes from a genuine mistake is telling us something true. This matters. This is not who you want to be. This grieves the God you love. That shame is right and good and worth feeling rather than suppressing. The problem is not the initial signal. The problem is when shame stops being a signal and starts being a sentence. When it stops saying something is wrong and starts saying you are wrong. Permanently, definitively, beyond the reach of grace. When it stops pointing toward correction and starts demanding condemnation. That is when the world's voice and God's voice diverge completely. Because the world condemns. That is what the crowd does. It sees the shame and it amplifies it, confirms it, uses it as evidence of permanent verdict. The crowd says, you should continue to feel this. You have earned this. This is what you deserve and what you will always deserve. And God's voice cuts through all of that. Not to tell you the shame signal was wrong. Not to say the mistake didn't matter. But to speak the truth that the crowd cannot speak. That the mistake is not the final word. That the shame is real and the feeling is honest and the signal is true. And also that there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Both things simultaneously. The shame acknowledged and the condemnation removed. Standing unbowed, not because the shame is pretended away, but because the verdict has already been spoken and it is not guilty. And then the most honest confession in the entire song. I take, I break. Not the addiction taking and breaking, not the sin doing it to the passive person. I, first person, present tense, the ongoing reality of the person's own participation in the taking and the breaking, the choosing and the reaching and the falling, that is not just something that happens to them, but something they are still capable of. John wrote it plainly, if anyone claims to be without sin, they are a liar, and the truth is not in them. We do not hide this. We do not pretend the sanctification is complete and the taking has stopped and the flesh is finally fully subject to the Spirit. It is not. We take sometimes, we break sometimes, and the breaking, this is the mark of how far the journey has come. The breaking is now of the heart rather than the soul, because we know what it cost. We know the love that was poured out for us. We know the cross and the blood and the price and the hands that held through all of it. And our love for the one who gave all of that is what makes the taking so painful now. Not the shame of exposure, the grief of love, the specific hurt of someone who loves God and took anyway and knows exactly what that cost and hates it. Yet still you mend, still. That word is everything, not reluctantly, not after sufficient demonstration of remorse, not once the taking has been sufficiently atoned for by the person's own efforts. Still, as in, I already knew this would happen when I came for you. I already knew you would take and break again. I came anyway. I paid anyway. And I mend anyway. Every time, without exhaustion, without limit, without the grace running out. This is the confidence the journey has produced. Not confidence in the person's ability to stop taking, but utter confidence in the one who mends. No hiding, no performance, just the honest confession of, I took, I broke, and the equally honest certainty of, he mends. And then the scars, they remain. They have always remained, and they will always remain in this life. The marks of the fire, and the chains, and the consuming, and the long fight back, present, visible, honest. But they have been shown. This is the final reframing. The scars are not hidden in shame. They are not displayed in pride. They are shown, offered as testimony, as evidence, as the specific and irrefutable proof of what God is capable of. Every scar on the body and the heart and the soul is a place where the fire burned and grace was sufficient. A place where the addiction held and stronger hands held tighter. A place where the shame whispered and love answered. A place where the taking and the breaking happened and the mending happened also. The scars are the glory of God made visible in a human life. Who could save us like our God? Not a rhetorical question, a genuine one that demands a genuine answer. Look at the scars. Look at what they came from. The fire and the bondage and the consuming and the secret kept under skin and the heart turned to stone. Look at what they mark. The grace that met every moment of it. The stronger hands that held through all of it. The mercy new every morning throughout all of it. The whispered, we start again through all of it. Who could do this? Not a program, not a strategy, not willpower or discipline or the right combination of support and accountability. Only the God who staked his eternal glory on the broken and the addicted and the enslaved and said, let me show what I can do with someone like this. Let my grace be sufficient for this. Let my strength be made perfect in this weakness. Let my name be glorified through this specific life that the world had written off. The scars mark the grace that brought them home, every one of them, the ones from the fire and the ones from the chains and the ones from the falling and the starting again and the racing pulse and the secret given to light. All of them grace markers, all of them testimony, all of them the answer to the question, who could save us like our God? Nobody. Nobody could. I'm not alone. I'm walking free. Reflection. For those in recovery, what are the scars you have been hiding that are actually the most powerful testimony of God's grace in your life? What would it mean to show them, not in pride, not in shame, but as the glory of God made visible in what He saved you from? For those beside someone in recovery, how do you honor someone's scars as testimony rather than as something to be minimized or moved past? How do you help someone see their wounds as the evidence of grace rather than the evidence of failure?